Okay, so today is July 3rd, 2026. And once again, we're baffled by the conversations that we're hearing coming from the Charles Perry camp and David Robertson camp. We're shocked. I don't know why we're shocked. We should expect it. But as we keep saying for years, we've said this, that they're trying to traffic me and hold me hostage. And at first they wanted to kidnap me and put me from the gym, no less, and put me and I think once or twice from work. They want to do a targeted pullover where they find out where I'm going to go, when I'm going to go, and have a cop sitting there to pull me over, arrest me, sit me down and tell me you have to go be trafficked and pimped out and raped and tortured and murdered so we can get rich. Once we deliver, we're going to all get a whole bunch of money. And then we're going to make more money pimping you out. So you're going to get raped, and we're going to get rich off the violent crimes committed against you. All of this is illegal. All of this is major organized crime. And that's what we're going to do. And you're going to go along with it. And this is called coercion. We're going to sit you down and we're going to say, we're going to do the same thing to you that we did to Mike Neely. We'll get a wrongful conviction and you're going to rot in jail, or you can go with us. So how many victims at your compounds? They got compounds where they house human trafficking victims. They're baby factories. They're human trafficking brothels. They cater to the weirdest of the weird sex perverts that do the unimaginable, deviant, sick, twisted stuff. Not the rich guys that are, just need an escort. They cater to the low-hanging, bottom-rung nothings. Pedophiles, necrophiles, all that kind of stuff. So they got a compound in south of Houston that we've been told smells like the sewer from the kids shitting all over the floor from being sodomized. So they're pimping out kids. The women have babies. They're selling the babies, making, 50 to 100 grand a pop. And we know this because they're under investigation, and they keep acting like they're not. While they run around and ask, who do you work for? You need to fire her. We need you to fire her, and we need you to back off of us. If somebody who's a criminal asks you to back off when you're investigating the crime, you're on the right track. Go at it harder. And that's how we see it. So, and they got dead bodies, so it's not just from the poor kids, the little babies, little fingers, little toes. Should be coloring and painting and playing with their toys and sleeping all night peacefully. They getting ripped out of their beds and raped. And they, unfortunately, the kids that are molested like that will go crap all over wherever, the living room, wherever. And then they got dead, decomposing bodies also would make it stink. So they wanted to take me to that one. Then we found out those details. They changed it then to the Atlanta one. It's just outside of Atlanta, and the guy said it's got a surrounded by land, about 6 to 10 miles of land. If she escapes and can get past that, they paid the neighbors 20 miles out to bring those girls back. They'll get paid a fuck ton if they escape. So they're hostages, and we want to know how many of them were done, just like you've been trying to do to me forever, arrested first, and then charges. What happened to the charges? How did those people end up at those compounds? They're not homes for unwed mothers, as you say. How many of them were pregnant when they got there? How many of them got pregnant after they got there? And how long after they got there? And how many times? Where's the birth certificates? Where's their IDs? Where's the education records? Where's the nutrition records? Where's the medical records? Where's the dental records? They're not being properly cared for. See, this was opened on a human rights violations complaint. So when you guys sit around and go, I can't believe she's doing this. I can't believe she's not going to go. I thought surely she would just go. Why in the fuck would you think any such thing and have to ask those questions? Why would you have... We're baffled that you are that stupid, that you would ask those questions and make those statements with a straight face. We have no words for that. None. But here's the thing. Your delusion has created a lot of blind sides for you. So when we get information that we can use to put you in jail, that's our intent. That's why we're doing this. We don't know what you pretend we're doing it for, but it's not your intel, so you don't get to decide what we do with it. Okay, the details about your compounds. You know how we started getting information on that? You pissed somebody off when you got interfered with my college education. You pissed off the wrong people when you did that. So you take something from me, we take something from you. You cause a problem for me, we cause a problem for you. And it's been that way 15 years. And you're seeing things happen you've never seen before. You have a new normal, and you're clearly having great difficulty adjusting. Great difficulty. It is funny as fuck. If you weren't so cruel, we feel bad for you. You're that stupid. This is so easy, it is not even fair. We don't take my guys that help me, because I can't do this by myself. The guys that you keep wanting to talk to and get me fired and back them off of you, they don't steal money from women and children. They don't make money off the backs of women and children. And we can get names and your code words and your people's names and information, and nobody will tell you shit because you horrify people. So for you to be so fucking stupid that you would say, I can't believe she's doing this. I thought she would just go. We don't even... Wow. You really are in deep delusion. If we can just sit her down and talk to her. Wow, you really are delusional. You need to go to a shrink badly. You need to be in a padded cell. If you have those words coming out of your mouth. Well, she can't go. We got to make sure she can't go back to Las Vegas. We got to make sure she can't go back to New Mexico. Why don't you tell me that to my face, you sissy? You sissy-ass little bitch girl. You don't make the decisions for my life. Everything you've tried to do to me, every time you've done something to force me to move, it backfires on you in some way. And if you can't figure that out by yourself, that's not my problem. Not even my problem. Every day, a lot of us working on this are Christians, and we pray every day, Lord, throw our enemies into a state of confusion. And he answers that prayer every day beyond our expectations, by far. And while you guys run around pretending and sitting in your little make-believe, loopy-loo land, we're getting real information from right up under your noses. And we've done it every day for 15 years. So, David, when you say, I want to wait till she gets her contacts out, then I'm going to go kidnap her. Let's take her contacts away from her. I don't want her to see where we're taking her. I want to put we want to make her blind, because we want to put this affidavit in front of her that's recanting her court testimony and make her sign it without her knowing what she's signing. And we've already talked about this, David, over and over and over and over and over and over and again and again and again. So once we have it, we have it. Once it's out, it's out. If you repeat yourself, then we all have to drop everything we're doing in our very busy day, doing normal things normal people do, to repeat also, just because you did. Listen, for somebody to repeat themselves as much as you guys do, and for somebody to make everybody else repeat themselves for you because nothing clicks for you, you're that stupid, you're that mentally slow, you need to be seen by a doctor. Something's wrong with you. Something is very, very wrong with you. I want you to take your fucking dress off, pussy, and tell me to my face that you think you can decide where I live or don't live. And stop hiding behind your computers, and stop hiding behind poisons and drugs, and stop hiding behind cops, and stop hiding behind my family or other people. And you man up, and you get some balls, and you threaten me to my face, or you stop threatening at all. And that is it, and that is all. You have no idea who you picked a fight with. I moved twice not to have a fight. Not down the street from Mr. Perry, 400 miles away to another town, and then an entirely different state, to avoid him, to get away from him, because he's a terrorist. And he ruins everything good. And he loves it. He's a sex sadist. He actually is a dysfunctional sex sadist. He gets off on making people mad. Actually, both sides. He gets off on making our people mad by causing a problem for me or a loss for me, taking something that doesn't belong to him, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, and that makes my people mad. So we start digging and we find out more about his crime so we can put him in jail, and he can't do that to me ever again, or anybody else for that matter. So then that makes his people mad, and at the end of the day, both sides are mad, and he goes and laughs. He thinks it's funny. He gets off on it. It's a sex thrill for him. And he's done it every day ever since I've known him. is sick, it's twisted, and he thinks it's a trophy. He literally thinks that. He's demented. He's deranged and disturbed. Because no normal person has that kind of time to get in everybody else's shit and make a problem. And you do it every day, all day long. All you do is bother me. All you do is harass me. All you do is rape me. Your voyeur cameras are rape. I decide how you make me feel. I will never go with you. I told you repeatedly, I will fight you to the death. And I mean that. I am already. If you're poisoning me now, get the rat poison in that food. Get that sealant in that food so she jams up her bowels. Has to call 911. Make her blind. Don't let her have no money. She can't go to Las Vegas. She can't go back to New Mexico. We can't let her talk to her son. We hear it all day long. We already have it. Once we have it, we have it. Once it's out, it's out. We only need you to say it one time to establish mens rea and premeditation and malicious aforethought. That's it. That's all we need, David. And when you go do it anyways, and your plan fails, every time for 15 years, David, you're picking a fight with people you can't get to. They won't even give you a name, much less anything else, sir, because they don't steal from women and children, and they don't make money off the backs of women and children. They're not weak. They're very, very powerful, sir. And when you say, tell her she poked the bear, oh my God, what the fuck does that even mean? Okay, so they told me that when they did the first false arrest, you poked the bear, and I said the same thing there. What the fuck does that even mean? Come on with this bear. What's the brotherhood? How about we just take the whole brotherhood thing down? We just dismantle the whole deal. Since you like dismantling and derailing people's lives and ruining people, how about we just do that right back to you? If it's okay for you to do it to other people, then you just think it's okay. Okay, you're not getting it. You're in trouble. You're seeing things you've never seen before. You can't act like nobody's there and then run around asking, how did she get that? How did she find out? How did she know to do that? Because we had this horrible thing planned, and then she found out about it and changed her plan, so it didn't work. You piss her off, nothing works. You piss her off all the time, so nothing works. Charles is a sex sadist. He enjoys pissing people off. That's what he does. Then he goes rub one out. We've been told that repeatedly. And I hate to be vulgar, but we're talking about a sex offender. What they do is vulgar. They have a sick, twisted mind that normal people can't even begin to understand. And sometimes I have to talk in a way that offends normal people because criminals can't understand me if I talk like June Cleaver. So I have to talk like they talk. And they still can't. I mean, these people are just the most stupid. You know, if criminals are stupid or they wouldn't be criminals, they'd find a way to make money like everybody else, the legit way. Okay? So for 15 years, David Robertson and Charles Perry and these guys have planned some harm to me with intent to coerce. So we got the but-for causation standard with intent to coerce. Jerry Bender, I know you're desperate for me to get pulled over. Okay, so I had to do that. I got interrupted, so I had to stop and start again. Anyways, Jerry Bender, Charles Perry, David Robertson, and those guys say they don't, and Steve Kunstweiler, they don't know where I live. However, they know when and where I'm going to go to have me pulled over in an illegal, targeted pullover. And we've talked about this again and 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 again. So they do know where I live. And they do have cameras in my home. And they do see when I'm going to run out of something such as coffee or shampoo. And they know where I go shop for that particular item. They see me leave to go get it. And then they can have a cop pull me over. She's going to go to XYZ store. And here's her home address where she's staying right now. I'm actually homeless. I'm just staying with somebody. Believe me, they make sure I know this is not my home. It's their home. I'm just staying here. So they know where I'm staying. They know what street I'm going to go down to have me pulled over in a targeted pullover. And then they want me arrested. And then they want to sit me down and tell me you have to go. And we want you to explain, and we want you to apologize, and we want you to recant, and we want you to lie. Because what we do is we suborn perjury all the time. We do it to everybody. Threaten and bribe, and threaten and bribe, and threaten and bribe. You have two options. You got option A, we'll threaten you, we'll ruin you. We'll ruin your job, we'll ruin your family relationships, we'll ruin you. We'll put you in jail, and you make sure you never get out. Or we'll give you a bribe, and you do what we say. You commit the crimes with us. It's called coercion and suborning perjury, and it's very illegal, and you're caught because you started doing that to me. And you've done it to the victims at the compound. How many were arrested just before they ended up at the compound, and what happened to their charges? The one in Atlanta has a landing strip for your airplane guy, Tim, right? Tim, and it turns his transponder off right when he kidnaps a woman, right? Or when he takes a baby that has been sold, and takes it to deliver to the Colombian or Venezuelan drug cartel. Is that correct? I mean, you tell us. These are facts that are true, or they're facts that are not true. We got bad information. You tell us, confirm it or deny it on the record, preferably. Okay? So then they changed it because we found out too much information about the Atlanta compound too. So then they changed it to Kentucky. And then we found out that, so then they changed it to South Dakota. So they've changed where they're going to hold me hostage. And we already know. We're already talking about it. And sometimes they'll go do it anyway. She knows we're trying to have her pulled over. Jerry Bender specifically. He's really mad. So far, she's not been pulled over. Jerry Bender is? Is he in bed with you? Is he in corrupt with you? Because Jerry Bender is the city attorney for Tulsa. Steve Kunstweiler is the district attorney in Tulsa. Now, they did have me pulled over about 800 times, and then I was ticketed, and I went to court, and I put in my brief in court, first of all, my guy said, we're going to let him pull you over. You're going to get a ticket, set it up for court. We want this on the record, that this is just what they do to their victims. They do it to all their victims. You're not the only one. So let's get it on the record. We want as much as their crime on the record. And the same thing with all the civil lawsuits. That is part of the criminal case, and we've told you that repeatedly. And you act like we've never said it before, as you do everything else. We already know. We've already talked about it. Once we have it, we have it. Once it's out, it's out. It's on the record in a different court case. Things are sealed, things are classified, things are whatever. I'm not going to say, is it sealed or is it classified or is it both or what? Because that's not information I'm allowed to divulge, but it's not where you can get to it. There's probable cause hearings so that they can investigate you. So they, if they need a wiretap order or some such, they can get that. So our shrink has explained to the judge how demented and slow you guys are, that you continue to do things that we already have it. That definitely establishes intent, she says. Everybody says that, actually. They know you know, and they try to do it anyway, and then they get shocked and dismayed when it doesn't work like they thought it would. But they knew you knew. They knew you would get around it. They know you have help. Your bear's bigger. Your bear can get names. Your bear can get code words. Your bear can get details and specifics about their criminal activity and plans. And their bear can't even get a name, much less all that. So what is that? What is this again about you? I poked the bear? Like, the fuck, what does that even mean? I don't think you even know what that means. Clearly you don't. Did you tell her she poked the bear? Yeah. She said her bear's bigger than ours. Her bear can get names and information and we can't. So you poked the bear. Whatever that means to you in your whack job land. Okay, so we did. So I set the conversation up with the cop for court. The conversation was recorded on the body cam, and then it was part of my brief in the traffic court case, and it is on the record. And I very, very well established the fact that this was part of an attempt to human traffic me, and I held nothing back. Anybody can pull the records and read the briefs and read the motions and pull the transcripts and hear what I said, because we wanted it on the record, and anybody from law enforcement from anywhere can get it. And so we got something to put in the criminal case, And that's what that is. You want to add to it? Knock yourself out. Because everything you guys do, we put it on the record as much as we can so that it builds a foundation for the criminal case. All the civil lawsuits, traffic court, eviction court, and a murder case, a murder trial of Michael Neely. That is all going to be used in your criminal case. Why would it not? Now, you can pretend there's no cops all you want, and then run around and go, how'd she find out about that? How'd she know about that? How'd she know to do that? How'd she know to go down that street and not that street? And how is it you continue to state that you don't know where I live, but yet you know where and when to pull me over, or where and when I would go to the gym, or where and when I'd go to Las Vegas or New Mexico? If you're not voyeurs, if you're not doing what we say, you're stalking me. Charles has been accused of stalking since 2011 in writing. All my communications in writing were not about political anything. It was all about stalking. Matt Powell, Josh Person, dum-dums. You need to keep up with us. We're not slowing down for you. Okay? You catch up. We're not slowing down for you. If you can't read something and you can't do diligence because your name is on your work product and you'd want to make yourself look like a fucking idiot, no one can stop you, can they? Nope. Okay, so, and that's what this is, Matt Powell and Josh Person. You see, this lawsuit, this case law here, once it's decided, it's precedent, right? You got your law degrees from Mr. Powell. You get your law degree from a crackerjack box because it looks to us like you did. Because I lived in Oklahoma. My attempts to get a protective order against Mr. Perry were in Oklahoma, not Lubbock, Texas. You stupid little fuck. You caused my son to lose his home. I'm not okay with that. You may lose yours because you did that to me and my son. So will Charles, so will David. You guys take from me, we take from you. You ruin me, we ruin you. You cause a problem for me, we cause problems for you. You've never seen this before, and you are seeing it now, and you act like you're not. While you run around, go, how'd she get that information? Nobody was supposed to have that. How'd she get it? How'd she know to do that? You don't get it. What buffoons you sound like. You didn't bother to read this, Josh and Matt. So, my son, who did nothing wrong to you at all, I moved twice to get away from a monster and a terrorist. I moved 2 times to get away from him. I needed to then, after all that, seek relief in the courts where I lived in Oklahoma. And this is the case precedence about filing a police report. So, you caused us to lose our home. My son had to go to school and explain to his friends why his mother has a mugshot all over the news. And you did not have the right to do that. And now he's fighting for his life, and I'm not allowed to protect him. So Judge Egan will go to jail for interfering with law enforcement. I'm supposed to be protecting my son from you, and they've made him worse. So until you people get that, or you're arrested, maybe then you'll get it. The words coming out of your mouth are asinine, absurd, and ridiculous. But you do what you do, because you're going to live with the consequences for the rest of your lives. And any judge that endangers the life of other people, you're going to have such problems, you have no idea. You're not applying the laws properly. So Judge Egan gets a case opened against her the second she ruled my breach of contract was res judicata. Because the prosecutor looked at it and said, no, ma'am, no. Did you get your law degree from a crackerjack box, or are you corrupt? I'm going to have to look into this, because we got 2 hypotheses here. And what we do in our business is we do diligence, and we look for facts. And we look for evidence to support the facts, ma'am. So what we do, Ms. Parker, same thing, is we put hypothesis out there. Either this person is the dumbest son of a bitch on the planet, or they're corrupt. Josh, same thing goes for Josh Person and Matthew Powell. Same hypothesis. Either this person is the dumbest son of a bitch on the planet, or they're corrupt. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a case and we're going to rule out or confirm one or the other. And we're going to start investigating. We're going to find out what happened here. Because this doesn't look right. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Something stinks. Kind of like Justice Scalia. William O. Ritchie, murder cop, commander of D.C., homicide, retired. Something doesn't look right with the way that his death was handled. Because protocol wasn't followed as it would have been had he died in D.C. So what's going on in Texas looks like a cover-up. And I'm not born yesterday, and I really don't appreciate people insulting my intelligence. So something happened there. Well, at the same time, they were planning to send me home, harass the hell out of me, and then claim they were being harassed and take it before the Supreme Court. And Justice Scalia, if you look at his decisions, flag burning is free speech. We get to form an opinion and state our opinion in this country. He said if I was king, we hang the guy who burns a flag. But we're not. I'm not. This is not that. This is a democracy and a republic, so we get to form an opinion and state our opinion. We have free speech in this country. Flag burning is free speech. So if she's talking about the crimes you're committing against her, you are harassing her, not the other way around. Don't treat me like I'm stupid and perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land. So what'd you do, murder him? Because this was all in West Texas. We're all in West Texas at the same time while you were planning that. So he had a reason, and then he questions it. Why wasn't protocol followed when he died like it was in D.C.? We're not saying you killed Justice Scalia. We're saying there's a reason to suspect you killed Justice Scalia. Because you guys replace drugs like you're doing to Dennis. You change it out with something that'll kill him instead of help him get better. And you practice medicine without a license. And you murder people with drugs and poisons. Rat poison specifically is one you discuss a lot. Bacterial bioweapons, you're terrorists. You're also members of the occult. So, number one, you're members of the occult. Number two, you've got court cases where you're, trying to force people to do things your way and practice Satanism. And you're using weapons of mass destruction to do it. So you do qualify as terrorists, domestic terrorists. My prosecutor tells me, I'm not an attorney, I'm going by what he says. He's the one that's going to decide who to charge criminally and what charges to file against each and every person involved. And then he's going to have to prove all that in court. I'm just testifying, I'm just a witness. So, but when the bad guy comes right to you and won't fuck off and leave you alone, doesn't get any easier than that, right? I think now we're kind of glad that Charles bought his way out of every protective order I tried to get. I didn't ask for money, just a fuck off order, Mr. Powell. All I wanted, Mr. Powell, was for the fucking bitch to leave me alone. You gotta be able to ask a guy one time. A gentleman only has to be told one time, I'm not interested in you, leave me alone. One time. And if you can't be a gentleman, you're a rapist. And you're definitely not my kind, and I will ruin you. You go after my kids, I'll really ruin you. And nobody's gotten closer to that than we have. And you act like you don't understand those words. So after I say things like that, Charles, he's cloned my phone, so he'll jam it up. And he does it to piss me off. And then he pisses my guys off. And then they start finding out more intel because they want him to hurry up and get him in jail. So he won't do that to me ever again. He harasses me nonstop all day long. The guy never shuts up. The guy has no life. Because people who have a life are busy out living it. They don't have time to sit there and watch people in the privacy of their home work and do normal things normal people do in the privacy of their home. I have the right to my privacy. You don't have the right to take it. You sick, twisted fuck. You got caught because you did it to me. I've told you to stop it. Or we will do it for you. You owe me $5,000 a day for doing that to me. And you're selling watch time. How many fans do I have? So you're doing it for your personal entertainment and your little daydream. And you're doing it for profit. And you consent to pay my bill every day you refuse to stop. We'll do it for you, you dumb son of a bitch. We will stop you, you dumb son of a bitch. Who else has that kind of information? You little fucktard. Do you think we're just doing this for fun? Rapist? So he's cloned my phone. So literally after I do these, where I'm clearly rejecting him, he'll type in my phone, so can we take you tomorrow? When can we kidnap you? I'm ready. I want you to come with... No. You fucking failed. You failed again to respond appropriately to what I just said. You little retarded fuck. I can call you a retard if I want to. I'm entitled to form an opinion and state my opinion. Never in my life have I called anybody a retard but you. People with Down syndrome are not retarded. They're not held back by a damn thing. I had patients with Down syndrome. They could think circles around you in their sleep, and they wouldn't hurt a fly. I'm also not speaking to people who are gay or trans. I'm talking to men who abuse women and children and think that makes them manly or sexy or hotshot or tough, and it doesn't. It makes you a fucking girl. It makes you a sissy and a prissy pants and a Tinkerbell. People make fun of David. Do you think he's tough enough to beat up a woman without help? I've never seen him do it. I've never seen him do it. So guess what gets to precede you when you go to prison, David? That. And Mr. Perry with his little dolly. Okay? Good luck with that. So, we got all this, Mr. Powell. You have an obligation, a fiduciary obligation to the people that you represented to do diligence and not hurt children, and you hurt my child. So here's what happened. There are social consequences a lot of times before legal consequences. O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murdering his wife. However, he did have social consequences for doing that. A lot of people were not okay with it. And despite the acquittal, they knew he did it. And they were very uncomfortable with him. And they turned their backs on him. So, Mr. Perry, when you contact me, or when you take something from me, or you cause a problem for me, we get more intel to ruin you with. And you never shut up. I don't want to hear from you. I don't give two fucks what you think. Why can't you get that? So it was bad when I had to leave Lubbock to get away from Charles Perry. People got very upset with you, Matt, that you didn't do more to protect me when I was there. And the Lubbock police did nothing to protect me when I was there. Nothing. They were mad at you for that. Because the taxpayers, sir, expect you, they have a reasonable expectation that you will show up and do your job and protect people from criminals like Charles Perry. Creepy Chucky, we call him. You know, Charles has some sort... He thinks being creepy is a trophy. That's how weird his mind is. That's how far gone his mind is. I can see you. Oh, the other thing he typed in my phone yesterday is, we're going to have you're committing treason. Wow, are you an attorney? You seem to like to pretend you're an attorney, and you like to pretend you're a doctor in your little make-believe world you live in. You're neither one. You could go to jail for that too. My prosecutor can charge you with that too. Practicing medicine without a license. Attempted murder. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And practicing law without a license. See, when I'm talking about the law, I'm either stating things that are just general knowledge, or I'm going by what my prosecutor says, and I'm saying my prosecutor said blah blah blah, and he has a law license, sir. Okay, so he's very, very much smarter than Matthew Powell. Matthew Powell, your name, Josh Person, is on your work product. So people got mad when I had to leave town to get away from unwanted male attention. Charles lies to himself all day. He makes a buffoon of himself all day. She's scared. She's just too afraid to say. All married couples have fight. We're not married. We didn't even have a date. I've been in the same room with you since 2013. I don't like you. There's nothing about you to like. I don't do peep and Tom. I would never like a man who peeps. I would never like a man who does ghetto ass JCPenney broke. I don't do broke, sir. Ever. I don't do broke, you fucking bitch. You took my steak, you give me your fucking canned food, and then you tell me, oh, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You took everything and everyone. What in the fuck planet are you on that you think you're a gift? What makes you think? Boy, my guys get pissed off when y'all say stuff like that. But that's why we get names and you can't. So there. I don't do guy who murders my children or interferes and butts into stuff that's none of your business or ruins key relationships, but I'll ruin you and love every minute of it. And nobody's gotten closer to that than we have. And you actually forget who you're talking to. We're going to have you charged with treason. There's no military secrets being sold here to another country, Mr. Perry. You stupid son of a bitch. You're not a lawyer. Quit practicing law without a license. You know what's being stopped? You're violating United States laws. Human trafficking comes with a life sentence per count, same as murder. In a lot of states, you're killing people. So there's murder charges. You know, you don't think my guys can take care of what you did to Mike Neely and make sure you're in jail for murder? Conspiracy to commit murder? You don't think they can do that? Well, you think whatever the hell you want to think. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, I always get more information to ruin you with in a criminal case. It just never clicks for you, does it? The guy never shuts up. So when we get information and you guys run around and go, how'd she get that? How'd she find out about that? Every contact, every problem, every loss. Every contact, every problem, every loss. You're giving me more to get. Every contact, every problem, every loss. So people were pissed off that I had to move. Then they were really pissed off when Mr. Perry put me in jail, and they fully expected him to make that right with me, he and Matt. And when they didn't, they got more pissed off. Morals, sir. Heard of them? Ethics. The law. What taxpayers intend their money to be used for, sir. Then when I sued, I had to sue, so they got really mad. You turned a lot of people against you when you did that. Then when you did me dirty in the lawsuits, they got really, really, really mad. Then when you killed Lucky and framed Mike, they got really, really, really mad. And then when it was CJ's baby and her husband you murdered, they got really, 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 really mad. And then when it was Dennis, they got insanely mad. So you're turning people against you, but you think what you want to think. Because you're confused all the time and you're in delusion, we can get information a lot easier. Because you're running around in circles pretending, we're getting real information from right up under your noses. And there it is. We decide, not you. We decide, not you. So whoever gets mad that we get information that you think you don't want us to have, or you say you don't want us to have, you have Charles Perry and David Robertson to thank for that. Charles never shuts up. Every contact, every problem, every loss. Every contact, every problem, every loss. Jerry Bender. Steve Kuntzweiler. Every contact, every problem, every loss. We need to get her back to the club. Nope, I will not go back to that club. We caught all kinds of crime, and you know it. See the 19 pages of never-ending scrolling of a lot of your incriminating conversations are on this blog here. And you act like nobody will suspect a thing. Nobody knows. Well, no, it's on here. It has been on here for a good long time. It's been on here for a very, very, very long time. Many, 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 many years worth of intel. And we don't post the whole conversations. We might have excerpts of the conversations you guys have that are incriminating. And this isn't the half of it. You know what you need to worry about more than what we've told you we have is what we're not telling you we have. And you're just not smart enough to put that together. And we don't care. It's not our problem. But the more you contact me, the more you invade my privacy and rape me, the more problems and loss you've caused for me, the more we get. 419 pages of never-ending scrolling. And actually, this page here is the most recent one. It should actually be too. Look at all this. Lots of perjury, Charles. He put on a big old show. Didn't shed a single tear. And it was frankly embarrassing. Who said that and what's that about, Mr. Perry? I think everybody's getting really tired of that guy acting like he thinks we're all stupid. Put on a big show. Threw a little fit like a fucking 2-year-old. Acting like he was really sad and crying and everything. But didn't shed a tear. And it was just a show. And frankly, it was embarrassing. What was that about, Charles? Why don't you put it on the record? What does that say? The McNamara email will never go away. We had it before, not after. That's the case of Chief Miller's murder. Perjury. Look at that. That's my shrink. That's your proxy stalker. After I've been asking and asking and asking for protective orders and injunctive orders, so you leave me the fuck alone. Okay, here's the thing. You're going to give back what you took, and you're going to get the fuck out of my life, or it will be done for you just like that. And you're not going to like how we do it. If we can get information from right up under your noses, you think we can't do that too? You are off your nut. But you know you're in deep delusion. So it doesn't shock us because we expect it. Manage your expectations. Yep. He's got delusional erotomania. He's got Huntington's disease, the investigation uncovered because he pissed somebody off trying to get me kicked out of my apartment at Chardonnay. And it causes hallucinations, paranoia, delusion, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. So for Charles, 2 and 2 is not 4. 2 and 2 is purple or elephant. Nothing that makes sense to everybody else. David's the same way. You got to say the same thing over. Do we have to repeat ourselves just because you did? We're all busy doing normal things normal people do. Why aren't you? Who has the kind of time to sit on their fat ass and harass people all day and bother people? Somebody told our guys, all Charles Perry does all day long with his time is either harass her or harass other people about her. That's all he does. Living the dream, that guy. Wow. Okay, so there's more evidence. Court order for all court proceedings. It's open because you have made yourselves an imminent threat to life. To life. You're a threat to people's lives, Judge Egan. And that's that. We decide, not you. We had a shrink that testified to that in a probable cause hearing more than once. So, look at this. Okay? Now, you've been told repeatedly, give back what you took and get the fuck out of my life. I want my privacy, my children, and my money, and you're gone. And my guys are tabulating what you owe me for the voyeurism, what you owe me for the damages, property damages with interest, same for Dennis. And you're going to, they'll do it, or you can do it, or they'll do it for you. If they do it for you, we'll have no control over how that happens. If you do it, you'll have a little. And we're not giving you a choice. We're telling you it's going to happen. You can do it, or we'll do it for you. There's no offer to cover anything up. There never has been. This is not blackmail. What he told you is, I will call you and answer your questions. And that's it, and that's all. And you were told, somebody in D.C., in the White House, when you called over there whining and complaining like little girls, we're getting caught in our crime. Please help us get her fired to back them off. And the guy said, listen, you're inflaming the situation. As a parent, I can tell you the top of the list of things inflaming these guys are what you're doing to her kid. Who the fuck does that? I'm going to tell you right now, she's quoting two of my people, so I don't give a shit about some little sick twerp with a high school daydream, whatever. I'm worried about who this is quoting my people and what they have and what they're going to do with it. So for my own sake, I'm going to find out who this is. For my sake. I don't give a shit about him. But they've had 15 years. And nothing they do works. If it worked, they wouldn't be calling me. And they want me to, call and get her. Well, who do I call? Give me a name. See, you can't even get a fucking name, bitch. So if you can't get a name, they're not going to give you anything else. If they're not even open to giving you a name, they won't give you anything else. They're not going to do anything else you want. And that was in November of last year. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Every contact, every problem, every loss. Every contact, loss of my privacy. You do not have the right to take that. I do have the right to my children, my privacy, and my money. And I'm not going to let you, if you don't do what we want, we'll threaten you. Or you can take a bribe. Yeah, you're not going to bribe me with my own money, you stupid little fuck. You forget who it is you're talking about and who you're talking to. You forget, don't you? Because you're mentally ill and retarded and shit. But you got this whole crew of you that act the same. You guys, do you not have any self-respect? No self-respecting, dignified person acts like you and says the stuff you guys say. All of you. There's your shovel, go dig. What do you do every day? Okay, so I'm not going to tell you who that was in the White House. I'm not going to tell you anything. I think at this point, because of the 419 pages, everybody gets the point but you. And I think we're done talking to you. I think we're done. You're not going to know what we have. I just won't do what you thought I would do. And that, you can do that until you go to jail. And that's it. And the more you give us to get, the more we'll use against you in a court of law. And if you want to tell yourself you're not going to go to jail and there is no investigation, then don't ask who told on us. And don't ask how'd she find out about that and how'd she know to do that. Poking, peeping, pink panty. Your guy calls you that. I'm quoting your own guy making fun of you. You proud of yourself? People making fun of you like that? Your own people? The guys in Houston? Huh? I would die. I would fucking die. Why? I'm telling our shrink, why isn't he embarrassed at the shit he does? And the shrink goes, I told you that he's very, very severely mentally impaired and has no idea he should be. What about the guys helping him? Would they be doing what they were doing if they weren't mentally impaired? Are we all going around acting like them? No. We're not. Guess what? We can get names and they can't. We can get code words and information and details about the criminal activity and they can't get anything out of anybody. What does that tell you? And they will never put that together in a million years. Yep. You proved her right, because she said that in 2021. Okay, so when Mr. Perry asks me for information, that insinuates that in his delusion he thinks I would help him. I never have. I get help, not him. See, these are his people's names. Those are his accomplices. We get names because we don't take women, we don't make money off the backs of women and children. We don't steal from women and children. And we don't stick our nose where it doesn't belong without a court order, without a good legitimate reason. Okay? You take from me, we take from you. Every contact, every problem, every loss resulted in this right here. Every contact, Mr. Perry never shuts up. Every loss, every problem resulted in this right here. Every contact, Charles, gets me more. So whoever gets mad that we have all this, you have him to thank. These are your code words. Every contact, sir, every problem, every loss. Right here. You labeled your crime. These are acts of coercion. Some of this is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Right, David? Your big black book of weirdo technique has never worked on me. I want to know who wrote that. I'd like to slap the guy across the face just for being that stupid. If it was, too bad people can't go to jail for being stupid. I can't stand stupid. Yeah. She's going to learn to not to look a gift horse in the mouth. I think you took everything and everyone, and my guess is she does not see you as a gift. You ruin everything good. Why would she see you as a gift? I had a BMW. I had a nice house. They took all that from me. I got that by myself. So, when you say stuff like that, do you understand how asinine and absurd and ridiculous you sound to normal people who can think past tying their shoe, and you can't? You got our code words? You do not. You got my guy's name? You don't. You quote in our conversations and our meetings and our phone calls? You're not. But you act like you think you are. And you act like you have no idea what it means that we are quoting you. That's not my problem, is it? So you go do you. And you're going to live with it.